Hey y'all, can y'all hear me okay?
in this area, which is really bad because there's a lot of like high grass, like literally where
Alright, I'm gonna be here. I'm
a
still working on my
suburban
thumbnail,
will have a hard time
so
getting
I'm on
through.
mute while y'all listen.
So you could just imagine how hard it is for the police force as of right now trying to locate this person inside the woods. Um, I think he's just staying in the area because there is no place for him to go. Honestly, like he's an illegal here. Obviously, like killed his girlfriend, got sentenced, and where else would he go? So what's gonna stop him is basically like going into homes again. Is it's the holiday is over and all the residents are back in their properties, and every day there's a huge quiet police present. I will say for this individual, like right now, as you can see, like they're trying to like push him towards the tactical force that's walking in the woods. Usually, like this morning, like what Nick said, that like we didn't even see any troopers hiding from the area. Like that's how good they are. And like once they said on the scanners, all lights turn on, that's when we knew there was this much troopers around us.
Alright, y'all, I'm here. Hey Tara, Lady D, how are you? See Suze, how are you? Hey Emily, y'all make sure to hit the thumbs up on your way in, please. Crumb Sleuthing, how are you? Crumb Sleuthing's throat's still sore, but other than that, I feel alright. Hey Kate Brass, how are you? Kelly P, how are you? Hey Princess Megan. Hey Richie, how are you? Thank you, Tara.
Yes, right now there's a helicopter circling around the perimeter.
Mr. Rosebud, how are you? Hey Michelle. Hey Sally Mae. Is Fofa here? Oh, there's Fofa.
It's looks like the police are heavily like they're trying to get him
Can
by the
y'all
end of the
hear this
night
okay? Because it
because there's
doesn't
a
sound
huge
like this
police
dude is very
presence.
loud. Hey Philly Mac, how are you?
Um,
Hi, Flood. How are you?
as you can see from there, where I was earlier at Leonard Pate Road, there is about
Hey, Dan. How are
five,
you?
6 police cars facing with their headlights on right into the woods, and they're all on feet. Mixing a call right now. He'll be right back with JLR.
Just on. How are you?
We're waiting for our source to come back. He's really active in the woods right now.
Michelle, isn't he supposed to be up there or going up there? Hey, Big Al. Thank you, Crumb Sleuthin. Hey, Mar. How are you? Y'all, they need to catch this dude. Yeah, Big Al, I went live early. Everybody was in Discord wanting me to go live early since this was live, so here we are. Hey, Dirty Clean, how are you? Chicken Noodle Girl, how are you? Um, Chicken Noodle Girl, this is a live from, they're in Pennsylvania. Police are searching for the Pennsylvania escapee that's a convicted murderer. And this is what y'all, day 5 now that he's been on the run? Hey, Legendary. Dirty Clean, I'm doing good. Hey, honey, how are you? Chrome Sleuth and everybody else has been keeping up with it today in Discord, and I've been looking at other stuff, and I haven't been keeping up with stuff what I've read that they've posted. Philly, yeah, I believe so. And it's Chester County, Pennsylvania, for those who were asking. It's just on, I believe he's on, like, broke into 2 houses, got food out of one of them. Yeah, Dirty Clean, he's only, I think, within 2 mile radius of the prison that he escaped from 4 or 5 days ago.
All right, guys. So I'm back. Have to make a quick call to my buddy, Jonathan. Anyway, so 10:32. checking right now. Give me 1 second.
Crime sleeping, exactly.
Sir, in county, sir, we'll be moving through with night vision and white light. If you hear anything approaching your position, light it up. If it's suspect, challenge them. Units, patrol units on the perimeter, Route 52. Stay vigilant there. He could be pushed out that way.
Corner 212, you can close that dispatch.
You heard that. Let me get that up also for those that are not watching. I'm going to throw it up on Twitter.
All units on the perimeter. Sir, in county, sir, we'll be moving through with night vision and white light. If you hear anything approaching your position, light it up. If it's suspect, challenge them. Units, patrol units on the perimeter, Route 52. Stay vigilant there. He could be pushed out that way. All units on the perimeter. Sir, in county.
So you guys heard that.
Hey, Bullish, how are you? Queen of Hearts, how are you?
One more time, just so we get it clear. This is a replay, guys. Alright, guys, I'm just sending this out on Twitter. For those of you that are local, can you let us know where exactly that is from our location while I check this? Is that close by? Is that close by? Yeah, it was a little bit ago, but the fact that they are still making moves. That's okay. Well, that's interesting. So I guess, see, that's what I mean, guys. You guys are going to see something, maybe.
Hopefully we get to see it. I'm ready for this dude to be out of there. Like, they need to get him out of the way. Hold on just 1 second, y'all.
No, the trooper's not in his car. Interesting, guys. I'm just texting a law enforcement source to see if everything...
All right, and I just shared his link in the description. His Twitter link or X link. For those that's been watching this for most of the day, do y'all know if they have dogs out there? Philly, how far are you from there though, where this is going on? Hey Carol, how are you? Well, why not just turn the dogs out? That's what I don't get. Oh, so Philly, you're not that far from me then. All right, and if y'all are not, if you have Twitter and you're not following Nick, like I said, I did leave his link in my description, so y'all go grab it and follow him. Hey Amy, how are you?
All right, guys. So yeah, we're looking for any movement.
Hey Libra Moon. Ron John, how are you?
I'm waiting for text back.
Hey TT, how are you? Dreamcatcher, how are you?
I'm gonna also let Grizzly know if she wants any information. She can reach out to me or Hong directly.
Sally Mae, I can't. If I do the scanner, there's no way for me to play it in this live. Okay, prom sleeping. Dreamcatcher, I'm doing good. Richie. Lady V, yeah, I'm still sick a little bit. Still got a sore throat.
Yeah. So I don't see any update.
Just wish it was a little bit louder.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear him okay? Kelly B.
So we're checking right now with law enforcement to see if they have any update.
It's as loud as I can get it too. I can't make it go any louder than that, and I can barely hear him. Hey, baby B, how are you? I know he's still not caught yet.
Yeah, I just sent Grizzly my colleague's cell phone number. If she wants to
Thank you, baby B.
give her a call.
Just on, I think that there was another escape, but I don't think it was from this prison. I think it was from another one, but in
Yes, he's a
Pennsylvania.
survivalist.
Hey, Liz.
Yes, he's a survivalist.
He's 5 foot. Yeah, okay, Bryce. He's like a little bitty short dude. Was he 5 foot, 120 pounds?
Let me grab some Tylenol real quick. I have a headache. I'm standing right here. The Tylenol's right next to me. So give me one second.
Liz, thank you so much for that super chat. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Hey, Jupiter, how are you? TT, how are you tonight? Hey, Yellow, how are you? Mr. Rosebud, you used to could hear some interesting stuff on those scanners. Funny.
Yeah, guys, I have Gatorades, waters, and everything you can imagine.
Lady V, are you talking about the guy that's on the run?
No, they did not apprehend him.
Yeah, Liz, I'll be here for several hours, so probably till well
He's
after
not
midnight. As long
apprehended
as
yet.
Nick is live, I'll be here live. TT, I'm doing good. Still got a sore throat, but other than that, I feel a little bit better. Dirty, clean, thank you. Okay, y'all. So Mars putting a bed out. Bet you $5 he's up in a tree, his skinny little self, and he's laughing. He'll come down when he's hungry enough. But Mar, they said that he stole some food uh, from a house. He broke into two different houses. Hey, threat to democracy. How are you? Oh, Fofa, you have not.
All right, guys. So yeah, so far I haven't heard anything. I haven't gotten any update from law enforcement source about the push, like this push right now that they're doing. I'm about to find out in a little bit. Where's 6ABC live from? The roundabout? Whoever said 6ABC is live, is that from the roundabout or is that from another shop?
Big Al is in Chester County.
Oh God. So that's what I mean. So like they're all stationed about a quarter mile away from us.
Thank you, Tara.
And information like that where he was spotted and this and that, that's not something you should save for a later broadcast. That's something that's like breaking news, especially in the local community. That would be breaking news. It's something they should take the air over for, but it is what it is. Nah, this is as close as I can get unless we get an update from Matt or if we hear gunshots. Good
Sassy, how are you?
question about the officer standing. Let me check. I'm gonna check and see.
Sassy, if you want to go share the live out, you're more than welcome to. Hey, Kim, how are you? Loaded Hot, how are
You guys
you?
want me to bring the camera with me to see if the officer is standing there?
And Loaded Hot, Fofa is listening to the scanner, and then Nick on Twitter here, he brings if there's anything relevant, he plays it where we can hear it on here as well.
So from here, I can't tell.
Yeah, Big Al, she's been listening to it all day today, giving us
I don't see him.
updates in Discord. Melissa, how are
Nah, my
you?
battery's fine. I have it on 100. It's been charging since this began.
And Melissa, yes, I'm gonna be on here. It's 10:05 my time. I will be on here or try to
Interesting.
be
So I don't
as long
know
as
if
Nick is
he's
on here.
on foot or if he's in the car. Obviously, I'm not going to approach the car unless it's an emergency. No, I'm not approaching the car. But from here, you guys can see a little bit better and see that there's a spotlight. Give me a second to try to clear it up.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
You see the spotlight over there that the trooper has. And there you can see the sign of, if it picks up.
Eric, I'm doing good.
Or it's terrible because of how dark it is. But I'm not going to go any further than like right here. Just out of respect, I'm grateful that they let us come this close. So we're gonna stay from like this back for obvious reasons. But it's very quiet out. Like, ready? Listen to how quiet it is. And in a few minutes, we'll shut off our car too. Let me see what make sure my battery's at 100 before I shut it off. Then you guys aren't going to be able to see the road as clearly as you can right now. So we're going to keep it on just so you guys can see. Because without the lights on, it's going to look like that. So we're keeping the lights on. And Matt says it's as quiet at Waterglen, and that's a tactic that the state police use. 1875 Lenape again. So 1875 Lenape is literally up here. Hong was on the other side. When the state police vehicle came, you guys saw him with his police lights on from Hong's FaceTime. Hong was over there. I'm over here in this area. And it took about 30 seconds. So from us to 1875 Lenape is about 30-second. It's a 30-second drive that way. Maybe a couple minute walk. The perimeter is 1 mile around this specific forest or wooded area.
Mary, that's what we were talking about last night.
Yeah, I don't see any cops standing outside.
He should literally
I'm
be
gonna go
like
down here.
way
So I'm
out in
the
California
way.
by now. Hey, hippie chick, how are you?
Maybe you guys can see down here.
Dirty Clean, they say he has a backpack. He could just change his appearance and throw the backpack on and look like a child who is in school.
I hear more cars coming, so hurry up. But you guys can see that they're moving. So that officer down there is outside of his car. I don't see this officer. You guys see, and then here's the sign I'm talking about. So that's where we are, right? That's the street. For those of you that are wondering where we are,
Hey, Flying
it's
Ryan, how are you?
Parkerville Road and Lenape.
Betty Joe, how are you? Y'all, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up whenever y'all come in.
Nobody should be nobody has the power to block any comments, and I'm not actively obviously muting anything. I'm a little bit preoccupied. I don't really care what people say about me. I can care less. I haven't cared ever. Obviously I'm here right now, so if I cared about what people thought about me, I'd be at home, which I'm not. So I can really care less about what people have to say. And I think that if you guys look into my history of reporting, you'll see that I can care less about what people say. They call me fake news all you want, but I mean,
Oh my
this
God,
is
the dude has
fake,
been
then
out there
so
since
be it.
what, the very
So I can
beginning,
really
and
care
people are
less.
talking crap about him. Hey, Jessica Lynn, how are
And
you?
yeah, so I'm not like, again, I really don't care about trolls. And it's funny, so people mention the fake news thing. Uh, like I said before, I chase untold stories, very, very, at times, high stake stories where people are outraged at abuse of power and stuff to that effect. And when I cover that, there's a consequence. And I've been told, which it's public, I've been told freedom of speech doesn't protect you from the consequences of speaking freely. Well, I really,
I'm everywhere. How are
that's
you?
not going to, I'm here, so I'm fine.
That's what I'm saying, Liz. I mean,
Anyway,
he's out there
so what we see is,
covering it for all of us to see.
you see, I think,
Got to give the dude props for it. So I did drop his link in my description. So if y'all are not following him on Twitter, please go grab the link and
all right, so let me
follow
read
him.
this out.
Mar, it was only like
All right, guys, so
70
this
something
this is
today.
from Matt. Um, red is the tight perimeter, yellow is the outer perimeter.
Oh shit. What the hell did I do?
You guys see that?
What the hell?
So
Okay, here we
the
go.
yellow
Sorry,
is
y'all.
how big the perimeter is, but they are focused in between the red. On this job, I'm not doing it for the money. We're not making any money. It's just about getting the information out. Somebody's got to do it, like I said before. So here is the map. If anybody, I'll leave it up for a few more seconds so you guys can understand it.
Hey
All
Tonka,
right.
how are you?
And in about 5 seconds, I'm going to take it
And
off so I
how are
can read
you?
it again and tell you guys what it stands for. So on this map, I can't see with the comments. Let me see. On this, and the trooper is outside. On this map, I am on Lenape, and so I don't know if I can see. Let me. I'll show you guys in a second on another map. But anyway, again, that's that. The yellow is outer perimeter. Red is tight perimeter / sweep zone. Oh, and blue is my location. That, no, it can't be. Oh, blue. So that blue right there, this blue, not that. This is me. So I'm here. Red is tight perimeter. No, that's Matt's location. So you see that blue right there. You guys see what I'm talking about? That blue circle right there? You guys see that? So that's us here. That's the search area. This is the entire perimeter. But the trooper is back out. No, Matt's not live. Again, the neighbors were being extremely weird for some reason. But again, I'll show you a little bit so we're not just looking at the same thing. I don't want to make it boring for you guys so you guys see everything. Again, I'm going to show you the difference in the lighting. So when you see the lighting, you see
I thank you, YOLO.
that's without lights. That is with lights. So you can see the difference almost. Like you could literally see from here to here how dark it gets.
Honey, I wonder why though he didn't try to
Try
get out of the area.
focus. So up behind us, you're going to see.
Hippie chick, I agree.
Let me actually grab a lantern. I think my colleague had one. Do you have that lantern? Okay, never mind. It's dead. So, where the other news networks is, if you see that flashing light, they're a quarter mile around that bend.
Do they even have subtitles on Twitter Lives? I don't want to click on anything. I done messed it up once a minute
Yeah,
ago.
see that?
I don't have an option for subtitles. Wind therapy, how are you?
Yeah, that's a sergeant. That's a sergeant. That's a sergeant around the bend.
Hey Meg, how are you? Threat to democracy. He stabbed his girlfriend 38 times, and in front of her children. And then he's also won
My
it back
law
in
enforcement
Brazil
source just said, quote,
on an
not
alleged murder down
looking
there.
good. That came from him just now. Not looking good. Again, so a law enforcement source, I asked if there's any
Thank you,
update, and
YOLO.
he just said, quote, not looking good. He's not going to elaborate. He's only giving me like 3 or 4 word answers because he's actively, uh, his main focus isn't me. It's obviously his job, but he he's been spot on. Like everything I've told you guys in the past couple of days has panned out, and you saw it pan out, um, from the press conferences to the burglaries to the only thing that we haven't asked about yet, because I haven't gone to the press conference, is about the map. So that's something I'll go and personally ask, is about the map. Not looking good, basically, I take it as if they were onto him a little bit better, he would clarify. So by not looking good means they might be having some problems, but I'm not going to say that that's. They've been having this all the time. They've been saying, so it's not like alarming. He can pop out any second. Just because it doesn't look good right now doesn't mean he's not going to pop out in 2 minutes, you know? And you can hear how eerily, like, quiet it is out here. I can try that. Um, I'd rather be the one posing the question, since it's something that came directly to me rather than having him ask. I'd rather her confirm or deny it to my face, or say that it's a lie, instead of, because I know she's not going to say that the source is spot on. Everything that he said from the beginning has panned out.
Oh, Lady B.
Again, from burglaries to sightings to the ring cameras to just about everything. Nothing he said didn't pan out. There hasn't been something. So I'd rather be there so that way I can ask. I'm not saying she's going to lie, but I'd rather be there and be the one to ask, since I'm the one with the information. And that would only take 20 minutes. I mean, I can literally run in and run out. Let me see if this can get a better shot for you guys.
Sarah. Have they ever came out and said how
Are
he
you able to
escaped?
see? Let me see if I can show you guys through here. So that's a better zoom. I'm using another camera just so you guys can see. Let me see if I can get a shot. Okay, so let's see if you guys can see this. So you see that he has something strapped around his like his shoulder. And that's the officer right in front of us. I can't tell. For those of you who were watching last night, they had the rifles out. Let me see if I can pull that up.
TT, no, I don't think it was. Jessica Lynn, yes, he's wanted down there
And then again, here's
for an
another
alleged murder
notice.
also.
This is from yesterday, but you can see the stripes on that state trooper. Almost every state trooper here has a higher rank. It's not like I don't know how they managed to pull so many high rank officials to come for. I don't know how many sergeants the state police has, but every state trooper that I met so far is a sergeant or a lieutenant. Like even right here, this is yesterday as well. And let me zoom in. Again, stripes. So they're not bringing out rookies for this, guys. They're bringing out people that have been with the department for some time. You don't join and become a sergeant, you know? And I haven't found, I don't think I have any pictures of an officer that's not a sergeant, a state trooper that's not a sergeant. I'm going to keep going through real quick and see if I can find any. But they all appear to be sergeants. Yeah, they're like all sergeants. Yeah.
Hey, Micro Blue, how are you?
He's going to check on. No, he's not in Oxford. Somebody said he was at Rita's. Somebody said he was in Maine. Somebody said he was in a ton of different areas. Looks like law enforcement. I've been here for a while. I don't know who's. You guys can hear me, I'm sure, right? I highly doubt he got out of the perimeter. That's. Uh, you guys are gonna see when he gets captured or killed that it's gonna be most likely in this perimeter. If not, that'd be wild. There's no bears out here. People were saying.
Mr. Rosebud, how far is Kensington Street from where Nick is at right now? Hey, Nat Detective, how are you?
No, there's more than one. All three are right here. This has been a very interesting manhunt because it gets so dramatic and then it dies down rather quickly. And that would be a good time. I see. I don't know if maybe if they see him, they'll play the surrender message. But right now, they want to guide him toward the law enforcement, so then he turns around and goes back toward the other law enforcement. Yeah, I've got some crackers. Guys, for those of you that are just joining, understand that these manhunts rarely end quickly. Um, eh, the last one was 21 days, and they caught him very within a few mile radius of the prison. Again, the guy that executed and ambushed state police officers got away for 48 days, and that was somebody shooting their own. So obviously, when they do that, they have all the manpower, and it's it's hard to if you technology isn't able to find and do everything, especially in these kind of areas. You have um, wooded areas where thermal imaging can hardly get through due to the amount of brush up top. You have the creeks, you have cornfields, you have barns, you have chicken coops. It's not like it's something that they can realistically get done that quick. It hasn't been done. If they caught him yesterday or today, even that would be almost. I don't know what the record is. Maybe somebody can Google um, shortest manhunt for escaped murderer in the United States and see what comes up, and then look at longest manhunt. So like check both and let me know what you guys see. I don't have access to the phone. Boston bombers. That was quick, but that was also they shut down all of Boston for that. And this guy isn't the Boston bomber. So that's a big an extreme comparison. Yeah, this is live. But yeah, Boston police, they are wild. They literally went. It was more than door to door. These guys are crazy. Like they nailed it with him. Um, so Ted, but was Ted a convicted murderer? I'm saying what a convicted murderer escaping prison. what is the shortest manhunt? Look it up and let me know. And you have to put the word convicted. I can't confirm it. I did hear the troopers. I overheard them saying it. It was at this post right here where they said it. But look at if you Google something along the lines of longest manhunt for escaped convicted murderer. Let's see what it says. Like average manhunt. You know, this is actually like it's rather early in the manhunt, 5 days. Um, if it goes further than 14, then it's gonna slowly get up there. But then again, you have to keep in mind the last one was 21 days or so in Pennsylvania, and that's just how it is. They're not magicians at the end of the day. They can't just make them appear, but they have it surrounded very visibly. And also, the other guy that escaped, who was accused of murder, he wasn't convicted yet. It took him 21 days, and he was within a couple of miles. The 21-day one was certainly on CNN. Google Michael Burham, Burham, Michael Burham. Look him up. He was on. That was definitely on CNN. That was everywhere. It was on CNN, Fox, ABC, CBS. I mean, it was everywhere. The whole country, News Nation, everybody covered it. No, so they got his smell, sure, but from what I understand, um, they lost the scent when it came nearby water, and that's when they put boats in the water and they had them going up the Brandywine River and all of that in the riverbanks. So when you are on the run and a canine is onto you, if you go through the water, it's going to lose the scent if you cross through the pond or the river or whatever it is. So once the dog stops at the water, you have to assume that he entered the water. Yeah, he was at Carco on the day he escaped. I believe that was Thursday morning. I don't know if it was at the Brandywine. I know that they did canvass Brandywine and leading up to the Delaware River just to be sure. But there was a body of water that they, I'm assuming, lost his scent at, which is when they did a water search. But at the end of the day, for them to have the perimeter set here, I would say they are like 99.9% sure that this is the location where he is. And you have another officer pulling in. And then, yeah, and Eric Freen is a big one, and he executed state police officers exiting the barracks, leaving work. So that was one of their own. That they're like family. So it was like somebody shooting their family member, and it took them 48 days. So, I mean, that you do the math, you know. And obviously, they took that extremely serious when you're killing their own people. See, yeah, 2 hours. That's what I mean. But was that for a convicted murderer? No, I'm good right now. Thank you so much. Yeah, now I mean you have to be more specific and look for an escaped murderer because these are much more. I mean, they'll catch somebody in 20 minutes leaving a jail. Sometimes, you know, they'll catch them right outside the property. This is. Hold on, I think I'm hearing enough there. Give me 1 second. All right, so here's a recent dispatch.
Hold your positions there. Search moving towards that corner there between 52 and Ballin Street.
So I'll play that again for you.
52 and Ballin Street. Hold your positions there. Search moving towards that corner there between 52 and Ballin Street.
Again, I'll play it for you guys.
52 and Water Glen. 52 and Water Glen. Search moving in that direction.
Okay, thank you, Foba. I'm going to get it now. Y'all give me just a second. I'm going to grab the other one.
I'm trying to
Okay,
get
here
more
we go.
information right now. Let me play that again.
Exercise watching a drainage pipe at 52 and Water Glen.
They're looking at the drainage pipe. That's the drainage pipe that we showed you guys earlier. Remember, we showed you the drainage pipe. That is the drainage pipe we showed you where a trooper was. Stationed.
All right, Fofa, if he starts up another one, let me know. Hey, Marsha, how are you? Hold on, give me a second. Checking to see if he's starting up another one. Give me 1 second.
52 and Waterglen, 52 and Waterglen. Starts moving in that direction. I hear an activity in front of them. Hold your positions. Yeah, we're out. 2545 represented by the Big Ten. He waved when he saw it. Hood raised tall and one dealer reflected best of the flash. Hey, make sure somebody's watching that drainage pipe at 52 and Waterglen. 52 and Waterglen. Don't Waterglen. Goes underneath Waterglen right by 52.
All right, guys. So I'm working to find out more right now. I'm gonna show you the photo of the officer posted there once more. Let me grab the camera. Sorry, I'm trying to load the camera so I can turn it on. I'm gonna show you the photo right now of the officer. Let me see. So let me make sure this is good. This one's not as clear. Is it? Yeah. So here is that is the officer standing by the unit or where they're going. 52 in Water Glen, the drainage pipe. That's where the officer is. Okay. Let me see if I have another shot, which we did. Yep, we have one more shot of him. As you can see, he has what appears to be a rifle. Let me see if I can zoom any more. That's where he is. And yeah, I wish I can show you guys I should have done it during the day. Can you charge that lantern? Try charging. If he can charge the lantern, I have there's a water, like a sewage thing behind me, but it's too dark. So if he can get me the light, I'm gonna head right behind. I can walk. It's like 2 seconds behind me. I want to show you guys a similar a water or sewage drain that officer is standing on, because there's one right behind us, but it's very dark. So I need to get if he's in there, that'd be great. I mean, there's troopers everywhere, so I'm not concerned. Give me 1 second. Let me check on the lantern. Keep your ears open just in case something pops up. You see it, Fletcher? I mean, you could turn it on for a few seconds, but it'll go off. You see it? You see it? You could turn it on for a few minutes. You could turn it on. Yeah. It's gonna work for at least 5 minutes. I don't think so. You gotta make sure. All right, guys, I'm going to take you over to the water drainage behind us. I want you guys to see that. All right, so let's go. Hong's going to let me know if you hear anything on the radio, and then if you get a text. And if the light goes out, obviously come down there so I can see. I'm going to show you guys a similar drainage pipe. So this one's a lot smaller, Hong says, compared to the other one. So you see the water. This is a much smaller one. So it's hard to see, but this place is full of these. No, we're not going in. This is full of them, and you can see how it's built. Go back up there so the trooper knows you're okay. You see that? And that's where the light's gonna die, so we're gonna head back up. Ooh. I was just trying. All right, so that's what it was. Hopefully, you guys grabbed some screenshots. What kind of charger does this need? What kind of charger does this need?
Like USB to USB.
It needs a USB to USB. I mean, if there's anybody local that has like a flashlight that wants to drop it off, we can, that we can use. But anyway, that is the sewage. So it's similar to what they are looking at right now. Just to give you some perspective of how dark and hard it is to find somebody in this. No, I do have a chair, but I'm good. That was, yes, sorry, storm drain. And let me correct that on Twitter. But yeah, it's a storm drain.
Sergeant Showers from Trooper Gal. Hey, sir just came out of the woods. Is there any more water down here for them? Yeah, we're on the way.
All right, so I just corrected it just to make sure. So you guys saw that. So it's a really like it's very quiet, and you guys heard on the radio how active it is. So just because it looks quiet, you know that he might be heading toward them through the drain because they heard movement in front of them is what I understood. Not on this train, they're not. That's what I mean. The perimeter is very tight, so they have a very good understanding of where he is. At least the general area. No, cert's not out. I don't think. I think they're asking for more water. What?
Came out the woods to get some water before going back in.
Yeah, cert came out of the woods just to grab water, and they're going back in. The street sign is Parkersville. I'm never gonna memorize it. It's Parkersville. Yes, I'm at Parkersville Road in Lenape. Yeah, he said that's what he said. He said not looking good. But stuff changes very rapidly. 1 second it's not looking good. The next second you have movement. So it's a that's what a manhunt is. It goes from seeing something to not. Otherwise, it would just be like a search. The guy is good at what he's not good at what he's doing, but he's able to evade them, and it's an easy area to evade them in. Yeah, I don't think a deer is going to go through that. Not easy at all, but put yourself in his shoes. The adrenaline itself, if you have an army of police chasing you, you have an adrenaline rush. You're gonna, whether you can see or not, you're running towards whatever. But let me just explain again. So the reason why I'm saying this is very active is because the lights on down there and the lights on around the corner. This is the first time they've done that. They haven't lit it up like that. Oh, good. So there's somebody walking up behind us with a flashlight. I'm not sure if it's a police officer. Let me see if I can show you guys. Give me a second. I'm going to try to turn this. Let me. Do you guys? So there's a flashlight coming our. Well, now it disappeared. There it is. You guys see that? That's a flashlight coming from behind us towards the state trooper. But it keeps turning off. I'm not sure if it's a neighbor. So what I'm hearing is from what Hong is saying, let me turn the camera back around. There are residents that are trying to collect the $10,000 reward. So they're walking around trying to catch the guy. And that came from Hong, and he heard it from the neighbor he was driving with. So there's like a group of neighbors at the top by the roundabout that are trying to catch him. So that's one of them. I'm sure, I would hope he's armed. Now, just so you guys know, I don't think the shoot to kill or the, I mean, not shoot to kill. I don't think the authorization to execute stands for the public. That's for law enforcement. Unless he's coming at you, I'm pretty sure you can't just shoot him. And there's a reward, yes, but that doesn't mean you can come to the perimeter. The perimeter is not where you're going to be able to collect the reward. Obviously, they know he's in there, so you're not going to get a reward by catching him right by breaking into the perimeter to get the guy. So that's not how that would work. Because if he goes through the woods, he might get shot. So they're not allowed to go in there looking. Yes, CERT is not civilians. They're specially trained law enforcement officers from various levels. Those guys are like trained for situations like this, prison riots, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's unusual. I wonder if it's one of the same neighbors that doesn't want us filming. Maybe. Yeah, civilians aren't authorized to shoot the guy unless he's like posing a threat. So they told him to actively surrender in his native language through his mother's voice. She recorded it. If I heard correctly, the state police colonel today at the press conference said that they're going to be playing the message not just by air but by also vehicle, and I'm sure that the units on the ground have something that if they see him and they can play it quickly if they're gonna play it again. But if he's which every which it's very likely if he's in the perimeter, he heard the message. I didn't hear the message myself. I've been here. I was here when they played the message. I didn't hear it, but he should know. It's common sense if you're going to escape from a prison with a murder conviction that you risk your life. So you don't really need um, to reiterate that to the guy. Yeah, I mean, if he poses a threat, I believe you can. TJ, correct me if I'm wrong, but if he poses a threat, you can't just shoot somebody in the back, right? Yeah, I don't think so. The stand or the castle, uh, was it TJ? Yeah, so you can't shoot them in the back. You can defend it, but if he's running away, you can't shoot him, right? In the back. You cannot shoot him in the back. These guys are authorized to shoot him in the back. The police are. Exactly. So, but the police can shoot him in the back if he does not surrender. I mean, you can probably hit him with a crossbow. Yeah, it does depend on the threat, but if he is walking towards you and you see him and he turns around and runs away, you can't fire, I don't believe. No, I'm not leaving any. So I already told you guys the earliest I'm going to leave is at 2 a.m., and that's only if that trooper turns off his lights. So until CERT leaves the area, we're not going anywhere. No, he doesn't have the same rights, but it's a human right and a federal. If somebody is surrendering, you cannot shoot them, even if you're the police. If they are actively surrendering with their hands up on the ground, you cannot shoot them. But even in this case, if he is actively surrendering, they cannot shoot him. But if he turns around and runs, the police can shoot him because he is then not actively surrendering. Nothing new over the scanner, I don't believe. Can you check? Hung? Yeah, exactly. This is different set of rules when you have a convicted murderer. He's not accused of a crime, he's convicted. Yeah, it's stand your ground. You're not allowed to stand on everybody else's ground and fire away. So, I mean, if he's on your property and he's a threat, you can shoot him. If he's running away from you, you can't shoot him, and you can't walk down the street to shoot him either. We're on the side of the road, and we have clearance by the state police to park here. We asked before we set up. We didn't just show up and set up shop. We asked. Yeah, he walked there in broad daylight. Now, keep in mind, um, I'm not going to get into it right now, but yeah, he walked there in broad daylight. He's been here since we got here. I'm not sure when his shift changes. I think he's in that search area in the perimeter. I don't know where, but I think he's in that search area. The last sighting was today by law enforcement and 5 residents. 1 on Lenape Road, 4 on Water Glen. I don't know if he purchased. So the clerk, I'm gonna revisit if they're open tomorrow to see if I can get some clarity. The clerk gave surveillance, or the store gave surveillance to the police of him at the store. I asked what time and under what circumstances was it. Did he steal something? Was he suspicious? Did he buy something? And she said she didn't understand English at that point. The last sighting was literally, so I think it started at 1875 Lenape, which is just about 30 seconds up this way driving. And then he went to Water Glen and was seen at the same, basically the same area of the homes that he broke into and the area that he was on Ring. 1875, yeah. So from what I'm hearing is the same woman who called 911 to report the man running through the woods is the same woman who provided the Ring footage to police. So she probably has that on Ring as well. Yeah, I'll get this one pinned to the top here. Let me see. There should only be one live. Should I pin this one to the top? It should only be, oh, okay, let me pin it. So it's not letting me pin it. Let me try it again. All right, so it should now be the second thing on my profile. Let me double check. No, it's not letting me pin. Let me try this. Let me make sure I get it up there for you guys. So what's weird is I'm getting some DMs from people that are saying they were blocked by a moderator. I don't have moderators, so I'm trying to see how to unblock somebody. No, so it's weird. It's not letting me post the pin for the live. I'm gonna add it to the thread. And I unpinned the other one, which is one second, guys. I'm gonna get trying to make sure that this is cool. So I threw it up on the thread. It's not letting me pin it, but I threw it up on the and I retweeted it just so people know it's the latest. All right, cool. So I threw it up there. No updates except um, what we've been discussing. For those of you that are just joining us, there was a some kind of a spotting of movement of some sort uh, on Water Glen heading toward a storm drain, I believe. We showed photos of an officer on top of a storm drain so you guys can understand. And then we also went to a nearby storm drain behind us that is basically a mirror image of the storm drain the other officer is guarding. And I was able to show you guys inside the drain. The lantern died, the light, and we need a USB to USB, something that I have back at the house, but I didn't know that there was a lantern. I just found out that he has a lantern. So this is day 5. After midnight, it's day 6. Is it midnight? Yeah, this is live. If it's midnight, it's day 6. I don't, I can't see the time from right here, but here we go. There's another trooper, I believe. It's a marked car. That's Westchester Police. Yeah, the marshals are very active. Cert push is complete. Hung, can you double check? Can you double check the latest dispatch about some? Hold on, he's bringing it over. You can see the trooper still standing.
Ground units on the inner perimeter of Water Glen and Balance Street. Ground units on the inner perimeter of Water Glen and Balance Street. You can fall back to the roadway. Ground inner perimeter units on Water Glen and Balance Street. Fall back to the roadway. Cert push is complete. Cert push is completed.
Cert push is completed. He's not in. He's not in custody. The search push has been completed. We're still going to stay live just in case. Let's see them leaving the area. You guys are going to see the state police and everybody coming by. They're going to drive by to leave the area. So we're going to show you that. So you guys are going to probably see in a couple of minutes they should be driving back. I'm imagining, I'm going to shoot a text over right now to a law enforcement source and see what's going on with. Let me find out what this means. We're about to find out. I'm asking. No, I don't think they caught him. I'm asking right now. No, so that means I asked, "Cert push complete. What's that mean?" He responded, "They pushed, no one found." Again, they pushed, no one found. That's what that means. So there's nobody in custody. So it's the second time in 2 days where they had him cornered somewhere in this perimeter, and he managed to evade them. So, with that said, I'm sure we're going to be going through this either again later or tomorrow. But we're staying here, as I said earlier. I'm in Delaware County. Now, keep in mind, that just means that they're falling back a little bit. He can easily then reappear thinking that the coast is clear. Because what I imagine is going to happen, they're going to close the police lights. This guy's going to keep his lights on due to traffic to make sure nobody goes that way. But I imagine that officer down here, he's going to turn off his lights. And when he turns off his lights, that means that they're going back to acting like they left the area. Oh yeah, the police aren't going anywhere. So all the police lights that you see, which is why I wanted the news helicopter to air it for you guys, so you can see how massive it is from the sky. The perimeter that you see, they're simply going to turn off their police lights, but they're not going anywhere. The perimeter is going to stay as is until he's captured. Here's one officer coming right now. This is a state trooper right here. All right, I'll show you guys the perimeter again. So here's the perimeter for those of you that missed it earlier. Yellow is the entire perimeter. Yellow is the entire perimeter. I'm going to turn off the radio because you guys are listening to it too, so you can tell me if you hear something. So yellow is the entire perimeter. Red is the focus zone that they were at today. Parked car is where Matt lives, and the blue right here is where we are. So he was seen. That's the area that they searched heavily. Okay, yellow is the entire perimeter, which means you can see this officer and these three. We're right here. So along this entire yellow uh, perimeter, there are police cars placed at the same distance of each other, like they are right here. The way they are placed here, which is why the helicopter shot is very important, so people understand how large the perimeter is. That's the whole perimeter. Around this entire perimeter, there are police stationed. So if there are three in my vision, and I'm only right here, there has to be maybe 100, if not more, cars around the entire perimeter. You guys see? So the perimeter is large and they have it surrounded with troopers. There's no coming out without being seen. And then keep in mind, all of these streets are flooded with police. They at least 3 or 4 patrol cars, state troopers, are in each one of these neighborhoods. This neighborhood has police. This neighborhood has police. This one, this one, this one. Like all of the inner right here has police. The outer has police. So with that in mind, put yourself in, to give you a better perspective, the guy can't really get out of that perimeter. There is no realistic way. When I see 3 patrol cars right in front of me and I am only that blue circle, that speaks volumes. It shows you the police presence. And then Hong showed you the other angle, which was almost identical to this, where the police were also strategically placed at a similar distance. So when you take the whole perimeter in account, you're really looking at about 100, if not more, police cars. And then also inside the perimeter, every street has a police car. Here comes another car. Every street has a police car. Every neighborhood has a police car. It's very, very, very well protected, the perimeter. And if he tries to break into a house, there's a police presence in every neighborhood. So if they see somebody walking, they're going to move. And as Matt said, he had troopers on his deck last night armed. And it wasn't just his deck. It was, according to him, basically every residence had a trooper on their property, at least one, if not more. So here come the police now. So that's a U.S. Marshal, the first one. That's a sheriff. Yeah, that's not related to this, the heavy smoke. Here, you want to grab this one? What was that? They said water? No. So yeah, that's not related. Yeah, we've got a cooler of water, Gatorade, and stuff to keep us hydrated. This weather was brutal. But you see, they still have their lights on, which means the scene is active. When this officer is going to keep his on, I'm repeating this, he's going to keep his on all night. He's going to turn his off once it's time to officially quiet the perimeter down. And for those of you that were asking, what if he comes in between that officer and that officer? There's actually a little street just after the speed limit. Here comes another officer. I'll show you again in a second. So that's just another officer leaving. So you see a speed limit sign. Right after that, there's another road. So there's a trooper in that road as well. So if he comes running out anywhere, they're going to see him on that road. That's why this officer's a little bit further down. But when they turn off those lights, that means that the perimeter is being going back to being quiet. Now these are all police coming through, guys. Now you can see how many people. And there are multiple ways to leave. This isn't the only exit. So because they're leaving because the push is done, but so yeah, they're still assigning posts. So it looks like they're ramping it up a little bit, but the posts are staying as is, and if anything, they're going to add more posts. And this is also a strategy because when they shut off the lights, he'll think that they left when they didn't. You guys saw earlier how fast the police got here. It was within 4 minutes that the helicopter was here, and the boots on the ground were here within minutes. So if there is any sighting or if there's a branch that cracks, these guys can be here within 2 minutes. So they are readily available. They're going not far away. Yeah, the gas station is within the perimeter. So that's the SUV from. What did you say?
Pretty high beams.
You're hiding something? No, I don't know. No. No, they were just shouting out for the stream. I guess they were watching. Every night it's going to be the same until he's caught. Yeah, so the SERP push, they thought they saw some activity going toward a storm drain where another officer was standing above. So if the suspect came out of the storm drain and looked up, he would have seen a state trooper. So they thought he was going in that direction, and apparently they were wrong. I mean, there's a chance for anything, but it's very unlikely that they have this perimeter this secure. And if they had any belief that he wasn't here, they would have cut down the manpower immensely as far as the perimeter is concerned. I'm not sure what these guys get paid an hour, but when you do the math and there's countless cars all over the perimeter and in every neighborhood, they have a very strong belief that he's here. And yeah, he's not going to go into a school. I mean, I'm not going to say he's not. Anything's possible, but if he killed his girlfriend in front of the kids and let them live. So, like, I compared him to Michael Myers. He's not going to, it doesn't sound like he's killing kids, but if you're a babysitter, I guess watch out. Yeah, they said there was just activity heading that area. They didn't say he went into a drain. Oh, what time is it? Oh, what time is it? 12:36. I mean, at least another hour, or until that officer shuts off the lights down the road. And now there's two officers at that intersection. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer to show you guys. There's two officers at that spot now. There was only one originally, and now there are two. You guys see that? So there's two over there now rather than one. Now here comes more law enforcement. No, I think Matt went to bed. I don't see an airplane. I'm not going to say there's no way, but I mean, it's very unusual, especially with another sighting. Again, 5 of them today, back to back. I highly doubt that he left the perimeter. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if I can get Hong to go in with the CERT team, that'd be great, but I don't think they'll let us over there. I'll be here for a little while. He's monitoring the scanner and also my texts on another phone to see if any law enforcement sends me any messages. No, the updates are the sighting that was earlier from the 5 different homeowners. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a stressful situation, especially for the neighbors. Every day probably feels like a week to them, and it's unfortunate for sure. So that guy was a lot. Eric Freen was like a special breed of survivalist. That guy was very, very. I mean, he was leaving like his feces for them to find on trails. Like he was a very wild. Um, that guy was a wild manhunt. He was like leaving clues behind. That guy was very. I don't know if he was ex-military. Yeah, that's annoying. I don't know why it's doing that. Does that mean the radio that they're coming through is dying, or is that a setting? Yeah, no, I'm not scared. It was around 6 o'clock when they thought they saw him. The 5 neighbors. My opinion is that he's still in the perimeter. They won't accept anything. We tried yesterday to give them some, like Gatorade or snacks. They don't. They didn't accept. They can't. They said. So one neighbor saw him on Lenape Road, which is right up the. We're on Lenape Road here. It was 1875. It's about 30 seconds up this way. He was running through the woods to our left. So where that guy is, those woods, he was seen running through those woods, and then he wound up on Water Glen again. And 4 neighbors called the police with different addresses, provided their addresses, and it seems like I mean, with that many neighbors, I'm sure we'll see new ring footage, which is going to be a question that everybody asks tomorrow at the press conference. I won't even have to ask or go to that, because they're going to ask about the ring footage, or maybe they'll just release the ring footage overnight. But I'm sure that they have new ring footage. If there were 5 sightings, there's no way they don't have ring footage. Because I believe the one sighting, as Hong was saying, the initial sighting where he was where they called 911 because somebody was running through the woods, that was the home where they obtained the original ring footage. So that homeowner has a camera. I'm not sure if it's going to reach to the woods, but he'll be seen on Water Glen at the very least, you know. Yeah, they can leave. But every car that comes isn't being searched, because why would they bring him into the perimeter? But once you leave the perimeter, your car is getting searched. So if you enter here, you're not going to get searched. But when you exit anywhere, you're going to get searched. I don't think they'll change the perimeter. If anything, they narrowed it down, but they're keeping it as is, I would imagine. So the light won't. The way those woods are, it's so dense. You won't get much light from the spotlight. What's up? What do you think? Yeah, so I mean, the perimeter is probably going to stay as is. Here comes another officer leaving. If he doesn't, we have to be. So they're making a U-turn. That trooper's making a U-turn. Sorry, guys, I'm just shooting a text over to a resident. Yeah, you guys see another trooper coming out. There's a lot of them, at least 3, 4, 5. Well, they're not coming out. They're actually, well, he just hit the roadblock. So they're going down this road. All of them are going down this road. With the exception of, so that was a Fed. But those guys are going down the road, the state police. Yeah, there are 2 troopers up the road with the lights on, and the other ones just like disappeared. I can't see them at all, so I don't know if they turned. I can't see them. Okay, so the trooper to our right, he turned off his lights. Those guys turned off their lights. But their tail lights are still on. So the trooper is still down there. You guys can see his tail lights, but he turned off his police lights. This one has his police lights on down there, and this one's gonna keep them on all night. Now, what's interesting is he turned off his police lights, but it looks like there's a spotlight right there. Can you guys see that? You see how lit up that brush is right there? So it looks like there's a spotlight on right there from the police officer over there. And it is a spotlight. I see it now. You could see it's coming from his car, and it's lit up right there. That is lit up in comparison to this. You see this, and then you see that. So that's lit up. We have some troopers coming up this way. So he's heading that way. This one is stationed there for a minute. They're going to talk probably. but the spotlight is still on right there. Interestingly, I can see more spotlights, so there are more police cars down there. There are more with spotlights on further down. Now the spotlight is off. That was West Goshen Police. For you guys that aren't from the area, that's not too far. So that's another statey going up that way. But you can see the how dark it is without headlights. You see the difference without headlights. Let me show you guys in case you want to take a screenshot. It's dark, very dark. But now I can probably show you a little bit better. And that trooper is going. So they're replacing, I guess he's taking the post. Yeah, so they're relieving this officer. So he's being relieved and replaced with another one. Stay safe, thank you. So they relieved him for the night. Now this could be a weird tactic because he's got his lights on. This guy's going to keep his lights on. It's a traffic thing, so nobody goes into the perimeter. And he's got his spotlight on again, as you guys can see. Yeah, we all felt connected to him. That's how it is out here. I mean, we kind of get a bond with a lot of these guys. Now, he shut off his lights, you see, but there's a trooper in front of him that has no. Okay, he's gone too, like light wise. So he's gonna back up and hide, but he's staying there. But he turned off his police lights. It looked like it shut off briefly when that one car was driving by. Maybe it didn't. I guess I'll have to check later. But it looks like he did shut it off briefly. Oh, now he's got his lights activated again. So anything is possible. Like, I'm not going to say for a fact that he's here, but I strongly believe that he's here. Given the Pennsylvania State Police's history, they're not going to put this much manpower in one location if he's not here. So I do believe he's in the perimeter, and that's just what I believe. Is it possible he left? Yes, because he broke out of prison. So anything is possible. But it's very likely, more likely than not, that he is in that perimeter. So this guy's been relieved too for the night. It's probably close to 1, I would say. So here come more. That's a trooper. Yeah, they're not leaving. They're switching. They're being relieved, which means that the next shift is coming in, and they're going to remain here on. Like it's a 24/7 operation. They're not going anywhere. So for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until they find him, there's going to be this perimeter. And it's not just the perimeter. Again, let me remind you guys that it's inside the communities as well. There are several communities, about 271 homes, I think I heard at the press conference. They all have police in the neighborhood, and specifically on Water Glen Lane and Road, they have police officers on the backyard decks um, posted. So it's not just in their car, they're sitting on decks, they're laying down on decks. So you have to take that into account too. So if he is seen walking through a neighborhood at night, an officer will see him through a backyard. They're sitting there. During the day, they're not doing that because it's unusual for him to move during the day, with the exception of today. Something must have spooked him if it was him, and he made some moves. I mean, we can't say 100%, but 5 neighbors from different homes calling the police it's pretty likely. And again, we will find out if there are ring cameras that captured him. We're not going to know that tonight, but we'll know it tomorrow. So if tomorrow, if we see a ring camera that shows him, that'll solidify the fact that he is in the perimeter. Obviously, if they show a ring camera again tomorrow, I'm hoping they do show a ring camera again tomorrow, so that way we know he's in the perimeter, um, which would be great. It would be great evidence that he's there. If we don't see any, that would be a little bit unusual, and it would raise a couple of flags as to how is he able not just to evade police, but also uh, technology, the ring camera, and any surveillance. And you guys were watching live when you saw this all unfold and how massive the response was. And we had a good angle today to see it unfold from here and Water Glen, and also at the other intersection at the other side. So we're trying to get you guys as many angles to show the activity as possible, just so everybody knows that lives locally at least. It's more about, especially for the locals, they need to know that the area is heavily, heavily, heavily monitored. He does not have a firearm. That is a pretty as close to a fact as it gets. If a firearm was stolen, people in this neighborhood, as you heard Matt say, many of them don't have firearms, but if they do, I highly doubt they're going to be unregistered or they're going to be straw purchased. So if a firearm was missing, they would have reported it to the police, and that would have been something of immense public safety, and they would have told everybody. Now, what he hypothetically could have done is taken a knife or knives from the home that he burglarized for food, because nobody really keeps track of how many knives they have in their kitchen, so that's kind of hard to inventory. A knife versus a gun would be reported. A knife, they might have asked the residents if any knives were missing, but how would a resident really be able to tell you that? So if they bought not like if they bought sets of knives in 2016, you want them to remember what 7 years later. So it's kind of hard um, to do that. So there's a chance that he not just a knife. I mean, it could be a hatchet, it could be a hammer, it could be something, a tool of some sort. So tomorrow, what I'm gonna do for you guys when we get here, we're gonna try to get here by 10 a.m. instead of um, afternoon. So when we get here at 10 a.m., maybe 10:30 at the latest, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up, and since it's broad daylight, I'm gonna take you guys to the storm drain that's right behind us again. For those of you that weren't here earlier, I took some people over there, or I took the live stream over there with a lantern to try to show you. But in the daytime, I can show you the storm drain much better. The one that's right here is pretty much identical to the one that the officer was guarding. So we'll reenact basically standing on top of the drain and then looking down so you can see that how their angles are. So when he comes out of a drain, they're going, if he looks up, he's going to see a trooper. We're going to show you the creeks that are surrounding this vicinity right here to our right. There's a creek. I'm going to show you guys that so you get an understanding of the area. And then also, we're going to see about maybe entering the brush right over here. I'm going to go through the brush right here on live so you guys can see how dense it is, because you need to understand the area before jumping to any conclusions. It's rural. The trees. It's not just the trees. It's also the fact that he's shining the spotlight up the street. But it's the fact that we can experience it together by going through some of this brush that's not part of the perimeter, but it's right across the street, and it's much less dense than it is over there, but it's very dense. And you'll see that if that's dense, what we're going to show you over here tomorrow, if that's dense, that is much more dense than that. So it'll show you kind of in their perspective of what they're going through and what they're trying to find and what they have to deal with to locate this guy. It's not as simple as walking through like the woods in, at least in, I don't know where you guys are from, but woods that I've walked through, there's gaps of trees. They're not very close, like they're not as close together as they are here, and the amount of brush is much less. These woods aren't meant to be walked through. Generally, it's not kept, it's unkept. So you're going through like thorn bushes, you're going through a ton of brush that makes a lot of noise if you are to maneuver when it's this quiet. And we're the loud ones over here, so like, and we're far away obviously, so he's not going to hear us. But when it's deadly quiet, which it is in the actual perimeter, if you hear somebody moving through the bushes and the trees, you're going to hear it. Like last night on live, we heard branches cracking, and we heard you can hear a pin drop. So we'll walk through the brush that we can get into, which is to our left, just to show you guys that. The mosquitoes were way worse during, not the day, but it was when I was FaceTiming Matt. As soon as we started that FaceTime, those mosquitoes came out, but I haven't gotten bit since. But yeah, you'll get an understanding at least of what it is to go through that. And then the CERT team, I mean, they have night vision or whatever, so they can see, but they're not using flashlights. So when you go through this without a flashlight, you're not going to see anything. So you kind of need the CERT team and the tactical teams to see this guy in the brush. So the police are all over the outside of the perimeter, and then they are also scoured throughout every neighborhood in the perimeter. Um, my understanding is that there are plainclothes officers and marshals that are going through the woods acting like hunters and stuff. So there is movement in there, which is why they asked when they saw the tip, when they got the tip that a man was running through the woods with shorts. Um, it they asked, is anybody, is that law enforcement, or is that like, is it any of you guys, anybody that's on the radio, is that you? So it shows that people, um like agents and officials are in the woods, which is why they asked, is that you or not, so there is activity in there. They are moving around. Again, the neighborhoods seem to be, if he is 100% in the perimeter, the neighborhoods in the perimeter are completely surrounded inside and out. And the dogs, I don't, so I'm going to show you in the brush tomorrow. I don't even know if you can send a dog through these bushes and heavy brush. And I'm going to try to get, maybe we can visit Matt and I can show you the location they were looking at today, where he said that when he even tried once to walk through it, he twisted his ankle pretty bad. It's very rough. You have to squeeze through like uh, bushes and thorn bushes and all kinds of stuff to get through it. So a dog, I mean, I don't see dogs being able to run through that kind of terrain, which is making this pretty difficult. You know? Yeah, so it's definitely, right now it's 111. It's definitely something so you guys understand the gravity of how hard it is to search this specific area. Yeah, he's gone. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna obviously reach out to the homeowners that own the property across the street where the brush is over here, and just see if they're cool with us going through to show you guys. And we're also going to reach out to Matt overnight to see if he's okay with us going to the brush and going through it where they were searching today. I'm not saying go through the whole perimeter, but just a couple feet in so you guys can see for yourself what it's like for law enforcement or even the murderer to go through. I'm trying to read the comments to see if there's any questions. Yeah, I believe so. I was in communication on Saturday with ICE, Homeland Security, and Border and Customs, or Customs and Border Patrol. So they're all involved in this investigation, and I believe Homeland Security or ICE has a team here with the U.S. Marshals. Not a large team, but they have a team here to assist. Good question, and that's a yeah. Um, yes, he did turn on the lights. So all of them have their lights on again. So you can see a trooper over there with his lights on. Keep in mind, this guy's going to keep his lights on indefinitely, and that guy, for the past 2 nights, nobody else had lights on. It was only like this guy and then the trooper on the other side of this entire road with his lights on. No, he's not captured. They lost him again. I'm gonna slowly break down, but just so you guys know, I'm gonna keep the feed going, and Hong can look at the questions, and if you guys have any questions, he can answer anything that he would know. So I'm gonna slowly start breaking some stuff down, but you want to monitor, and then it obviously if there's any activity, turn it. Maybe explain to them where you were. All right, guys, so I'm back. Hong's gonna pack up for a little bit. Let's see. So I'm gonna post a tweet recap of what happened today, just so people that weren't able to watch, obviously, this crazy long stream. I'm gonna hit all the bullet points of what we saw unfold, what happened, and I'll put it in the end of today's thread. So tomorrow we'll have a new thread started. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put on a recap in a tweet, so that way I can just do it all in one, so everybody's caught up. So this scanner is a you have to go through the comments. If somebody that's on right now has a link to the scanner, can you guys throw it up for people that just got in? Yeah, no problem, guys. Yeah, we're gonna be here for a little bit. It'll take us at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes to pack up. We have a lot of equipment anyway, so and that's the link for the scanner, guys, right there. Yeah, no problem, guys. throw something in the car. I'll be right back. Yeah, guys, so just a little recap. So what I'm going to do for tomorrow is when we get back, I don't think we're going to go to the office because it's way too late. So I'm going to try to, on my personal laptop, I'm going to try to run the names of the neighbors in this area so I can get their contact information, and I'm going to reach out to see which properties will let us search. So I'm going to get their information and reach out for tomorrow to see if they'll let us do a little bit of a tour for you guys to see. Again, we don't want to invade anybody's privacy or property without permission, so we're going to see what they say, and I'm pretty sure that for the most part they'll be cool with it because a lot of neighbors have been watching this. That's a jewel, just so you guys know. It's worth showing. And I'm not marketing for Jewel. Make that very clear. I believe he's still in the area, yeah. All right, guys. So we're probably gonna pack it so we can get here earlier tomorrow. Um, there really isn't anything going on. I know I said I was gonna stay till the lights turn off, but everybody left. Other than them, I mean the CERT guys. If I hear something on the way back, obviously I'm gonna make a U-turn. Um, and I have my any. I'm gonna get a text from either residents or a law enforcement source or somebody that says there's some kind of movement. So I'll be back. Um, thank you guys for coming on, and we'll be here probably by 10:30 tomorrow morning instead, and we'll go throughout the night. So we'll go from like 10:30 a.m. until they catch him. So we'll be doing the same thing. It'll be a 14 hours straight just to, of whatever's going on, so you guys can see. Of course. No problem, guys. And I'm going to put the recap up on the way back home. So I'll have it up in the next 30, 40 minutes. I will. I mean, they're looking for him 24/7, but there's no activity or active pursuit of the guy. So there's no need to hang unless something pops off. And we also want to get here early just in case something does pop off in the morning. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, y'all. He said he's been at this for 14 hours straight today. Hey, Robin, how are you? Hold on just 1 second. I gotta get this. Where the heck do I get it? Okay, here we go. Get it off of my screen. Yeah, Summer, he said it because I had asked earlier, like, how long he's been at it. 14 hours. Alright, I'm gonna throw his link again in the chat. If y'all are not following him on Twitter, also known as X, y'all go over there and follow him. He said he's going to be back in the morning about 10, which will be 9 my time. Mar, I'm going to try to get up. That'll be 9 o'clock my time. So I'm going to try to get up that early. So I'm not going to stay on here a whole lot longer tonight. I cannot get this to work. Hold on. That way I can get up in the morning. Slipper, you've been watching this thing for a whole 14 hours? JC, yes. And I just dropped his link to his Twitter account. His name is Nick. And I've done exit off of it now, so I don't know what the last name is on there. But yeah, y'all go follow the dude. I mean, you gotta give him props. He's been out there yesterday and today. Riddler, have a good night. So I'm probably fixing to get out of here as well. First of all, I want to thank all of you for coming and hanging out with us and watching this. Prayers for that community. Prayers for the police that are out there. uh, looking for this guy. Hopefully, they catch him overnight and get him away from everybody. Hey, Sharon, how are you? So he's not a danger to the people out there anymore. Uh, if they don't catch him, just pray that he doesn't hurt anybody. And if he ain't got no food, he may get desperate and try to do something. And just hope that he doesn't hurt anybody. He's already serving a life sentence for murdering his girlfriend in front of her kids. This dude is super dangerous. But I want to thank you all so much for coming and hanging out. All the new people, thank you so much for coming in and joining us, and we would love to have you all again. Uh, Gina Marie, yes, I know that is. I've been on here though since 9:30, I believe it was, and I started the live tonight. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave out early tonight so I can get some sleep. And Karina, thank you so much for joining us tonight. But I'm gonna leave out early tonight. That way, I can try to get enough sleep that I can get up in the morning and get a stream ready. That way, whenever he goes live, I may wait a few minutes after he starts and then start mine and try to keep up with it as much as possible tomorrow. Hey, Agape Love, how are you? Lucia, have a good night. Hey, Call Me Kitty, how are you? But yeah, thank you so much, all of y'all, for coming and hanging out. Like I said, I'll be here tomorrow uh, to cover this. Yeah, Summer, please keep him in your prayers because this dude is super dangerous. And like, hey, Kaz, like, they need to catch him soon. For all of the members who are in here, um, if you want to join the Discord, just go to my community page, and there is a post on there with the Discord link. Just grab it and join, and then I'll have to go in and accept you. You are more than welcome to come hang out over there with us. And Gina Marie, I started early tonight because he was live streaming, and so I went live so everybody could watch it. Thank you so much for that super sticker. That was very nice of you. Thank you. Nato, how are you? How close are they to catching him? Nick, they were saying earlier when it come across the scanner that they could hear movement in front of them, and they pushed through, and then they didn't find anybody. So then they started kind of changing locations, and then they had a shift change as well. So, well, Roger, he said he would be live in the morning at 10 o'clock Eastern time, which is 9 o'clock my time. So I will uh, be up in the morning if y'all want to come and join in us. Callie Dime, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. Hippie Chick, you are very welcome. So I'm about to get out of here. Like I said, if y'all want to join the Discord, you're more than welcome to. Uh, I love you all. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us. Like I said, and make sure to keep that community in your prayers because they have to be super scared. And this dude is very little. He's only 5 foot tall and 120 pounds. He can hide just about anywhere. He can be in someone's house and they may not even know that he's even in there. So that whole community is just, I know they got to be on edge. Vicky, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. All right, so I love you all. TT, thank you. I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful night, morning, afternoon, wherever you may be. I hope to see you back tomorrow while we're live. Bianca, you are very welcome. Thank you for joining us. And I will see y'all later.